Hello and welcome, I am HenryPlays and this is my review of Descenders. This video is going to be part of oh my god, what's the series called? This video is going to be part of a series called Games Pass Reviews, where I will find and review new games on the Xbox and PC Games Pass to see if it's a game that suits you. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future videos. On the screen right now are the timestamps for the different sections of the video. Thank you all for watching and on with the video. Descenders is an extreme downhill cycling game that will bounce you from tree to tree, stunt to stunt, and challenge to challenge in order for you to fully master the game. Descenders differs from its older cycling brother Trials, as the tracks that you descend aren't exactly classed as races. Just to clarify, Descenders and Trials are completely separate games by completely separate developers. Each level is a procedurally generated downward course on a dirt, sand, or snow trail where you'll find ramps and obstacles that you must jump over and avoid, respectively. And as expected, you can also perform flips, stunts, and more when on the trails, and usually, the more dangerous you are, the more points you accrue. However, use that danger carefully as you have a limited number of lives. Lose them all and you'll be forced to restart your career wherever you were up to. I was playing for about an hour on my longest run before I ended up dying, and when I did, I just kinda wanted 5 minutes to just sit and cry. You can get more lives by completing the bonus objectives in each level, as well as going onto the courses that have medic camps. When you're completing the bonus objectives, you must find the balance of risk and reward. If you're given a bonus objective to not let go of the accelerator for the entire level, that sounds pretty dangerous and that you might die a few times. The only reason to complete the bonus level is for an extra life, so if you're going to use up one or more lives to do it, it doesn't really seem worth it. In case you do fall off, each level contains checkpoints so that you do not have to start from the beginning. Over time, you'll also start to hire different team members. These team members will provide a small boost to certain stats or help you with some aspects of the track. An example of this is that you're able to flip slightly faster, or that there's less trees on the track. Each region also has its own boss ramp at the very end. The boss ramp is a gigantic stunt that is equivalent to that of a Michael Bay or Fast and Furious film. You'll find yourself ramping over a moving train, a watchtower, and an entire canyon valley. In the boss snow level, you can even jump onto a ramp that's being held by a helicopter. So, ask yourself just one question. Will you lead your team to glory and become the next legendary descender? God, that's such a cringy line. As usual, I'll start off by telling you the positive points about this game before going into the more negative ones. Descenders is an incredibly satisfying game. Whether it's landing the perfect jump or narrowly missing an obstacle, you constantly feel a sense of satisfaction when playing. Not to mention the end of the level where the AI takes control when you cross the finish line. I like to do like a sideways bunny hop to see where my character ends up, but there's nothing better than landing a challenging jump for the first time, coming into it at high, uncontrollable speeds and still managing to land it. The procedurally generated tracks are fantastic. They're unique and individual in their own way, but they keep the same initial idea of beginning to end down a mountain. There are also lots of choices to be made in career mode. Some choices are purely cosmetic, like the clothes you wear, and some of them can be a matter of bailing and surviving. When you complete a section or career, you are given lots of different cosmetic items like bikes, clothes, and helmets. This adds an extra incentive to carry on if you run out of lives. The game also provides you with a choice when you are moving on to the next trail. You are given some alternative trails that you can choose to take, but before you choose, make sure to check the steepness, curves, and stunt rating for each one. And this positive kinda goes well with the next one, because in this game, there is a wide variety of tracks and challenges. This really helps to add to the playability and addictiveness of the game. I would much rather play a game that has a procedurally generated level system over and over again than one that just has the same levels repeated, especially in the extreme sports genre. In terms of challenges, there isn't much of a wide variety and you'll tend to see the same ones pop up quite often. But this can be seen as a good thing. You tend to know what's expected of you if you've already done the challenge before. I saw this as more of a welcome addition rather than a problematic one. Now, as for some of the negative aspects of the game, I had some visibility and texture problems while playing the game for about an hour. The first one being more of a feature of the game rather than a bug, but at night in the game it is impossible to see anything. If you spend too long in one region, which I did because I wanted to finish every course in the region, it turns to night. Just a little bit more visibility at night would be perfect, whether that's lamps here and there or floodlights. But my texture problems were to do with render distance. Similar to Subnautica, my review for which you can find in the corner of your screen now, Descenders suffers from a popping problem where textures will pop in and out of your frame depending on how far away you are. In this game, it's less of a problem than it is in Subnautica, as you can only look forwards, but when you're speeding really fast, you tend to look further ahead for obstacles and turns. I had an issue where I was going 65 and there were no obstacles ahead of me. All of a sudden, a bale of hay appeared in front of me and I lost a life. If I was multiple hours into a playthrough and it was the difference between life and death, if this happened, I would not be best pleased. Not only does it mess with the gameplay, it really ruins your immersion when you're actually getting into the game. Now, this negative point isn't for everybody because I know that there's people out there that do really like a good challenge, but this game is really hard to play and even harder to master. When I first played the game, it was apparent very quickly that it was made for controller use compared to keyboard and mouse. I struggled to play the game for more than 2 trails before losing all of my lives, so I had a bit of a sulk and came back to the game the next day. After a bit of a break, I was able to play through the game for quite a bit longer, but I still wasn't good enough to play it without losing any of my lives. But this game is really hard to play and not really much of a relaxing game. If you go into the free ride option, that's more of a relaxed experience compared to the career mode. And finally, as for the negative points anyway, I mentioned earlier that there were crew members in the game, but to be honest, the crew members didn't really change anything. The crew members claimed to alter your ride and trail, but when I was playing, I didn't really notice a difference when hiring the different crew members. I know there's only so much you can change before the game becomes too easy, but if you have worked towards something in a game, there should be a noticeable difference when you achieve it, and there definitely isn't when you hire a new crew member, but there is also no way of measuring the change. Overall, Descenders is the ideal game for the extreme sports people, racers, and people who just like a challenge in the game. I personally don't really like outdoor sports of any kind. However, I did find this game relatively enjoyable and addictive after I got over the first obstacle of not actually being very good at the game. The only people that I don't recommend this game to are people that get incredibly frustrated when they lose any progress or have to start over in a game, because when you play the career mode in this game, that will happen quite a lot. But as for anyone else, I really do think that you should give it a go. Just as with any game, if it's something you think you might like, you may as well take a look, since you don't have to pay for anything if you already have the Games Pass. You never know, this may end up being one of your favourite games, and I think it's only like 7 point something gigs, so it's not the end of the world. Now just quickly before I wrap up the video, I'm thinking of adding a section into my videos where I talk about the achievements of a game and how hard or easy it may be to get all of them. Tell me if this would be a welcomed feature down below in the comments. Thank you all very much. Well, that about wraps it up. Thank you all very much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe so that you do not miss any future related videos. Check out my other social medias down in the description and comment down below any questions or queries that you may have. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great day. Ciao.